Ace Podcast.
Hey, this is Aaron.
And this is Craig.
And you're listening to my favorite podcast, Don't Wake the Kids.
On the Ace Podcast Network.
Welcome back to Don't Wake the Kids. This is Randall as always, and Chris is back.
Hello! I responded a little quicker that time.
Yeah, there's no delay. Thanks for that.
I took some notes.
Notes, yeah. Practice at home in the shower.
Yes, all the time.
So we're taking a break from the, I guess what I'm calling
The meta?
the Don't Wake the Kids Summer of Music. I don't have any other musicians lined up yet, but I'm working on it. I want to do at least 4 or 5 total this summer. So if any of you are musicians, have a band or whatever, you want to come hang out in the studio, that's my one requirement is you have to come here, sit in the room with me, because Skype or phone calls, all of that stuff sucks. Nobody wants to hear that shitty quality. So
Don't worry, there is AC and it is nice and cool in here now.
it is. I built a air conditioning duct out of cardboard. But hey, it works.
Exactly.
It works very well. Actually, last night I came in here to edit the episode that dropped today with Stan from Holy Smokes, and I had to turn it off because it was like 68 degrees in here, blowing right on my back. It was cold.
First world problems, man.
Right. Anyways, so we're back I decided not to do a segmented show this week. We're going to there's so much shit has happened since the last time Chris was here. Actually, most of it happened between episodes 52 and 53, but I didn't have anybody to talk to. And, well, I did. It wasn't Chris's fault. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to blame that on you.
Jeez, man.
My wife went to Vegas for a week, and that really, it screwed me.
Had the old dad responsibilities to take care of.
Yeah, so I was single dadding it for a week, and I'm just not used to that. It was fine. I had a good time. I enjoyed spending a lot of time with the kids and doing all that stuff. But, when I'm here alone with the kids, can't really come out to the studio because, 3 kids, one of them is bound to wake up and do something. And if I'm not in there, it would just be bad.
Mayhem let loose. I commend you for making it through that week sober, though. That is impressive.
Yeah, no, it was good.
Good job as a dad. Not that I know much about
I did have 2 O'Douls.
Don't get too crazy there now.
Yeah.
Didn't get out of hand, did you?
No, I didn't get too drunk off that 0.5% of alcohol that those contain.
Man, that's like me right now. I'm smoking the CBD stuff. I know, have you heard of that?
Yeah, I mean, I know what CBD oil is.
Yeah, CBD. Well, it's like they actually have hemp flour you can buy, and I actually bought it from Nevada over in Vegas. Had it shipped
Nevada.
Nevada. I don't care. You damn.
If you ask anyone that lives there, it's Nevada. I always called it Nevada until I moved there and got yelled at a couple times. So now I feel like I have to correct anyone that says it wrong.
Yeah. It's like we're Louisiana, or how do they do it?
I don't know. I fucking hate Louisiana. And most of the people that live there.
Yeah, I don't know anyone.
I
do know person.
Yeah, I've spent too much time there, and I'd rather not anymore, ever again.
I don't know. I want to get that one time getting wet loose over in New Orleans. We were supposed to one time.
I did it once. That was fun. I mean, I think.
That's the only reason I want to go to Louisiana. I don't care about anything else.
If I never get the chance to go back to Bourbon Street, I'm fine. I'm totally fine.
I just want to have that, that one Mardi Gras experience, getting arrested and, having people flashing me and stuff. See,
I was there. It wasn't Mardi Gras, but I got flashed several times and it was packed. There was a shit ton of people. I don't know. I wouldn't do it again. I mean, I guess if Amy wanted to go, I would do it, but she wouldn't. So,
yeah.
If you're drinking, I could see it being fun.
Yeah.
We would be just people watching at this point, and that could be fun, but I think it would be more annoying than anything else.
People watching is fun. I mean, I would probably have to, be down in that environment. I'd have to have a little bit to drink to be able to people watch
yeah.
all that.
I'm not going to say his name, but a friend of mine that was with us there, he got kicked out of a strip club. He was getting
Seems to happen a lot with you.
Yeah, what he's talking about is my bachelor party. We tried to go into the shitty strip.
It wasn't your bachelor party. It was when you visited from Japan one time.
No, it was the bachelor party. That's the only time I've ever tried to go in there was my bachelor party.
Dude, there was a time because we got kicked out because we ended up leaving the cowboy. Remember, it was me, your brother, and your...
My uncle was there. That was the bachelor party.
What was it? Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. And I was the quote unquote drunk one that couldn't get in.
Dude, I thought.
And I remember it.
I thought I was the one because I was the one. Like,
no, it was stupid. So no, it was me.
I know, but I was too though.
Oh,
like, that's why I thought. I thought originally we were getting kicked out because of me.
No,
like,
he singled me out. Yeah. I leaned on a podium, so he said I was too drunk. Whatever. That place sucks anyways.
We got our money back at least. I mean,
did we? I don't remember that much.
I remember because I just paid, and then he's like, "You guys got to go," and I'm like, "Oh my goodness!" But then he was like, "Oh, here," because I paid for you, I think, or something.
Yeah.
And he gave the money back. I was like, "Okay."
That would have been really shitty if you'd just kept it.
Well, I mean, I figured, we got to see a little bit of boobs, so I thought maybe, he was like, "Well, there's your fee to see a little bit of tit."
Well, anyways, so he gets kicked out. I talked to the stripper that got him kicked out, and she said he whipped his dick out.
Oh, come on.
But he denied it. He said, no, she pulled it out. And the bouncer walked by when it happened. And so, yeah. No, that's just it's a trashy place, and I don't care to go back.
No, I had a buddy actually get kicked out for biting a stripper's nipple.
Oh.
Which is kind of weird because they can do that to you, but, you go try to bite a stripper's nipple and all hell breaks loose.
I don't know what to say to that. I was going to say, well, you're paying them, but you're not paying to bite.
No, I mean, yeah, I don't know. If as some random stripper up there dancing, would you want just some random dude come up there and just bite you on the nipple?
Absolutely not.
Maybe like back in the
hashtag me too.
What? Did I miss a hashtag trend here?
Did you miss the whole Me Too thing?
I guess what? No, I missed it.
Man, read the news, Chris.
Yeah, I don't. It depresses me too much.
Yeah, I don't even want to. I don't want to get into it.
Okay,
it was the whole sexual harassment stuff.
Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah, I remember them talking about that. When Terry Crews came out and talked about his thing, or was that afterwards?
I don't know about Terry Crews.
Oh, he came out with talking about how he was sexually harassed also, and everyone's like, "Oh, well, you're too big of a guy to be sexually harassed. No one can harass you," which I think
I think that would easily fit into the hashtag Me Too movement.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I've got some stuff I want to talk about tonight. No segments, but before we get into it, I want to mention again, I talked about it last week for a little bit. I want to start doing a segment at least once a month where you guys listening write in, whether it be through Facebook Messenger, facebook.com/don'twakethekids, or you can email me at don'twakethekids@acepodcasts.com. Just write in with any questions or advice you want as far as parenting goes, and I'm going to give you an answer. It may not be the best answer, but it will be an answer. Think of it more of like just a quick segment, maybe twice a month, of comedy advice on parenting.
So you feel like you read that Playboys that you can start giving people advice now?
Exactly.
There we go.
Except I'm not going to give you sex advice. I will give you parenting advice. If you need parenting advice, you already know how the sex stuff works.
Well...
You at least know what goes where.
Well, what if you adopted and you're still a virgin?
Well, I'm not going to answer those questions.
He's like, you know what? Now I want to make a kid.
Talk to your dad or your mom.
What if he was an orphan and banded?
What if you shut up?
Trying to play devil's advocate here, I guess.
Also, any of you listening that haven't yet, please leave us a review on iTunes. I love reading new reviews. Any new reviews I get, I will read. I actually have one. We got a new one, Chris.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to pull it up here.
That's one thing I never tried. I need to go check the review section.
This was on June 2nd, so about 2 weeks ago, almost 2 weeks ago. It's from Callie Britt. She said, "Great show. Sound quality is great and love the topics. Randall has a great voice for this. Shh, don't wake the kids." Thanks, Brittany. Leave us a review and I will read it and thank you on the show. Also, one last thing, I haven't mentioned it in a couple weeks or a couple episodes, so I want to throw it out there again. If you enjoy the show, you want to help us keep it alive, I have to buy a new interface. Mine is dying. If it dies, there is no show. Or there can be a show, it's just going to be really shit sound quality until I get a new one. So go to patreon.com/DWTK podcast. You can donate as little as $1 a month. Anything helps me get to that. They're not cheap. It hurts me inside when I saw the one that I wanted, really the one that I need for what I'm wanting to do. I want to be able to do like, so with Holy Smokes and Harvester recently, I was only able to get the vocalist from each of those bands in here because I only have 2 mics. I only have 2 mic inputs.
And very little room.
Yeah. The interface that I'm wanting will have 4. So I will be able to do full band interviews or I'll just be able to get more people in at once and it could be fun. But yeah, it's not cheap. So if you want to help out, go to patreon.com/DWTK podcast. But that's enough of that. So what has been happening? I've started working out.
Me too.
I've got a new Sunday routine where I'm going to... See, the first time I did it, I went up to the Mulberry River up in the southern part of the Ozark Mountains. And this workout is pretty cool. I locked my bike up at one spot, drove 2 miles up the river, and dropped in on the kayak and kayaked down 2 miles as hard as I could, and then locked the kayak up where the bike was and rode my bike as hard as I could back up the mountain to my car, and then went back and picked up the kayak and went home. Well, that was the first week. The second week, I was on my way back. I was going to do the same thing, and I got halfway there. I was literally like 45 minutes from home, and I realized that I left my paddle in the garage.
Oh, no.
So I turned around, came home, got the paddle. I'm doing this early in the morning so that I'm home before the kids wake up. Jeez. Yeah, I'm leaving the house at about 6 a.m. They usually wake up at 8, 9, so it gives me plenty of time to get it in. But I didn't want to drive all the way back out there because I was running short on time since I'd wasted an hour and a half driving there and back. So I went to Lee Creek. Well, there's a baseball field that has a boat dock. I locked my bike up to a power pole. Let's change it to the pole. Then I drove over to some campgrounds that were up the creek about 1.5 miles, and I dropped in there, went against the creek for about 0.5 mile, then turned around and made the 2-mile trek back to where my bike was. I get to where the bike is, and it's fucking gone. Some asshole went in and cut the chain, and he even took the chain.
Man, it's like,
so mad. There was a guy fishing. He said he got there, he saw me driving away after I locked it up. And he was fishing, and there was only one other truck that came into the parking lot. He saw it. It was 2 guys with a jet ski on a trailer.
I mean, they've got a jet ski. Why do they need your bike?
Meth.
Geez, I would sell them. I mean, you can get a big old pound of meth with the jet ski.
He said it looked like one of them was testing the jet ski, so maybe he was buying it from the guy.
And he's like, we'll get a bicycle.
Yeah. So they stole my bike, and the guy that was fishing was nice enough to give me a ride back to my car. Like I was gonna
not nice enough to tell the people, hey, that's
well, he didn't actually see him take it.
He's probably working with them, man. They probably slipped him a 20. He said, hey, don't say anything.
No, he was a really nice guy. I was gonna have him just watch the kayak while I jogged back to my car, and then just drove back and picked it up. But he was done fishing, so we loaded it up in the back of his truck, and he took me back to the car. Oh. But so then the next weekend, I decided I'm not going back to Lee Creek ever because fuck that place and the meth heads that live around here.
Yeah.
The Mulberry, it's now too low. Well, it might be okay now since we've had some rain, but I didn't get to go last weekend, but weekend before last, I didn't go up there because we hadn't had any rain, and I didn't feel like getting up and dragging the kayak at all.
No, Mulberry's not fun when it's low at all.
No, it's never, especially where I am, where I do it upriver, it's already pretty low. Like, I don't think I saw it deeper than 2 feet when I went. But so I went to Lake Fort Smith. That place is nice, man. It was like there's nobody out there. I saw one boat, some guys fishing. But so I took, it was like a 4-mile trip. Just
going around the lake?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't go all the way around. I mapped it out on Google Maps before I went because I knew I wanted to go about 4 miles. So I looked at the map and measured it out on Google Maps, and I followed to it pretty close, I think. So I think I did about 4 miles around the lake.
I've seen the videos. You had like found like a little cave or something.
Yeah, there's a little cave. There's a lot of rocks that I guess if you're brave enough, you can jump off of them.
Huh. I mean, you're not supposed to be swimming in water, I think. Or...
They have a swimming area. Yeah, that whole place
do?
is redone. They've got cabins up there, camping grounds. Yeah, it's nice. It's really nice.
I just always used to go out to the trail there.
Yeah, there's a lot of walking trails.
Dude, if you go into the Ozark
trails.
Highland Trail, it's a pretty cool little spot. It's kind of like Are You Afraid of the Dark, little meeting spot. Like, it's about maybe a half mile in. It's a little big old fire ring, fire pit. And then if you keep going like about maybe 2 miles in, there's just like these random chimney stacks. All that's left of these houses that used to be there, just these random chimney stacks.
Oh, that's crazy. But yeah, so I did that. I didn't get to go last weekend because I was on call for work, and it's too far of a drive.
Plus, we had the monsoons come through.
Fuck, man. Last week I was on call. I've been on call. I haven't worked there for a year yet. It was my 3rd time doing a standby week, and the first 2 times I got like 2-3 calls total the whole week. I got like 15 calls this last weekend. It was nuts. Like I felt like I should have just stayed at work. So this week on Sunday, I'm going to go back to Lake Fort Smith. I think I'm going to, unless we get some more rain this week, I might go back to the Mulberry, but I really like going to the lake. It was real peaceful, and I was able to get a good workout out of it.
When the monsoons came through Friday, I had a shitty day at work, and I remember walking down to the bottom, and like all these girls are just standing at the door waiting for the rain to quit, and I just took my glasses off, and I was like, it's been a shitty day. I was like, I need a good rinse off. And I just walked right through that thing, and before I could even make it across not the street by the parking lot, but just the little street in front of the hospital where people drop people off, I was already completely soaked, and I just had stripped down butt naked. And once I got my vehicle, I stripped down butt naked. I was just so wet. I pulled underneath an awning because there was hail dropping down. And then I guess this other car pulled up beside me. And then I thought they were just hiding from the hailstorm also. And so I didn't think they were looking in there. And then all of a sudden these 2 girls just walk out and they go inside the building, but they turn around and look at me, and I'm just standing there with my shirt off. That's all they can see. And they're like, I was like, better just pull away now.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, the rain this last weekend was pretty nuts.
Yeah, it was like, it held for a little bit over there by Sparks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the hail's come down pretty, I don't know, real hard, but there was like little pellet size.
So that's Arkansas storms in the summer. It can get pretty nasty.
No, I hate hail.
Yeah. Especially since I can't park my car in my garage right now. That sucks. Oh, but yeah, that's that. Also, this is crazy. My neighbor. So I have the sweetest neighbor. She lives across the street from me. She's almost 92. She was having... These guys came to her house, and they said they saw where she had some squirrel damage on her back deck. And they noticed some other things, which that was there. I see you giving me that look, like, that's weird. But there actually was...
I've never heard of squirrel damage
Yeah,
before.
Yeah, they'll chew on the wood and whatnot.
Makes me think of Rick and Morty, dude.
I had pet squirrels, and they chew on fucking anything.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
So these guys, they told her, like, we see that you've got some stuff around your house that need to be fixed and stuff. I've got this construction or contracting business. If you want, we can take care of it for you. And so she's like, yeah. So they have her pay them up front. Oh. And they did do some work. The one thing that she had them do was the house is, I guess, technically 3 stories. There's a finished basement downstairs. The only way to access it, though, is from the back side of the house on the outside. Huh. She has a deck from what is her actual first level. She had them build a stairwell that's covered and walled that goes down to that entrance so that if there's a storm, she could get down there easily. Well, they did such a shitty job, and they used repurposed wood, and they did a really, really bad work. And they charged her over $50,000. Yeah. So last week, or there was the week that Amy was in Vegas, my mother-in-law was here with the kids, and she called me, and she's like, there's cops, and like they've got all these guys in handcuffs, and there's like a bunch of cops with dogs and everything, and like, I don't know what's going on. She was like, oh, fuck. So I called my neighbor, and she answered and told me that the building inspector had come by and saw like how bad of a job they'd done, and after talking to her, found out about the money and everything, and he found out they didn't get any kind of permits or anything. They're not licensed. So they arrested him. And like the guy that runs the company, he's a repeat offender. He got out of prison within the last year for the same thing.
He hadn't learned his lesson yet.
Yeah. And so she's out $50,000 that they're trying to get back for, but that easily could have already been spent. And these guys,
there's no insurance or anything. There's nothing like, there's no really way to, wow.
Yeah. But then the next day, I get another call from my mother-in-law. There's a fire truck at your neighbor's house. I was like, fuck, what's going on now? So I called her, and it was on a Wednesday. And on Wednesdays, she has this helper that comes and like drives her to take care of some errands and like makes her beds up and does stuff for her. He answered the phone. She had fallen down her stairs. She fell down about 12 steps.
Wait,
backwards.
The new stairs?
No,
okay.
no. Yeah, I should have clarified. No, the stairs in her house. She has to get to the second story is 15 steps. She was 12 steps up, and she lost her balance and fell backwards.
She almost made it.
Well, yeah. Yeah. But so she's in the hospital still. She broke her shoulder. She's very lucky.
Man,
like she could have easily died. She's almost 92 years old. And her only injury was she broke her shoulder.
That's crazy. My grandma was 98, and she fell down in the bathroom, and a day later, she was gone.
Oh, man.
So it's crazy. Yeah, she was a tough old lady, man, for 92, falling down 12 flights of stairs.
Yeah.
12 stairs. Not
she doesn't have any family. Like, I mean, she does. She has a daughter that's in her 60s. She lives in Colorado. She hasn't been here since 1994. Like that was the last time she saw her daughter.
Oh, wow.
So she really doesn't have any family that's around here at all. So I help her with a lot of stuff. Like I'd handle her trash for her and just anything she needs, I'll help her out with.
Sweet old guy.
I've kind of adopted her as like my grandma because she's such a sweet lady, and she doesn't have anybody. She needs help with some things. So I've been going up to the hospital to see her every day and taking her mail. And Jesus Christ, when I'm in my 90s, if I make it that long, somebody better make sure that I don't get as much junk mail as she gets. She like every day she gets like 4 or 5 magazines plus all these like sweepstakes letters and scratch offs that it's all junk. She doesn't want it.
Jeez, I had an apartment, and that is like the worst thing. Source of junk mail, dude. Every day, there's a bunch of other people's mail coming still. And like I was sitting there talking to my uncle who lives above me because he knows everyone that's lived there. And I was like, do you even recognize any people? He's like, I don't even know who any of these people are. They must have been there for like, these are people that lived there probably 2 or 3 years ago.
Wow. And
so I was still getting I'm still like, I always get loaded down with their junk mail too.
Yeah, that sucks. We every once in a while, since we're not renting, so I guess that makes it a little better. But every once in a while, we'll get the previous owner's mail. Not their mail, but they have a business. I forget what it's called. They make gun holsters. But every once in a while, we'll get a box of like clips for gun holsters or just like pieces that they use on their holsters. I'll have to, and they always weigh like 100 pounds. I have to get it in my car and drive it over to their shop.
We were getting some of Dr. Sutherland's stuff. He used to live in our house. His Chewy account still set up with our house for some reason.
What's Chewy?
It's like one of those websites where you can order for like pets. I think it's like dog food or dog toys and stuff for like pets, whatever. You can have it, order and have it shipped to your house. I think there may even be an app. I'm not sure, but I know they've advertised on TV.
I don't have a dog, so it doesn't do anything for me. But yeah, so my neighbor's still in the hospital. It was kind of scary. Last week, there was 2 days where they messed up her medication. And I thought this is it. Because she was talking to her husband that died 2 years ago. And she was telling me about stuff about how her mom had cooked her breakfast that morning. And then the next day, she talked about how her and her husband and their daughter went out for breakfast. And
Yeah,
She was out of it.
when you get trapped in those rooms, dude, it really affects those patients'
Yeah.
psychosis. Especially if you're catching her at like in the evening. I don't know if you ever heard of sundowners. Ever heard of that? Phrase? Yeah, like a lot of people, man, when they get stuck in those hospitals, they'll, especially the older people, they get sundowners, man. And I've seen some scrawny old grandpas be able to like it took like 2 or 3 people to hold him down.
Wow.
He'd be perfectly nice during the day, but man, at night, he's like, it's something just flipped the switch.
That's crazy. Well, she told me that there was one medication that she's taken since 1987 that they weren't giving her.
Oh, wow.
And yesterday I was talking to her about it. She's like, there was a couple days there that I didn't know what was going on. I don't remember anything. And so I kind of told her about what she was telling me. And like I told her about how she said she had breakfast with her husband and her daughter. And she's like, oh, I wish I could remember that part. Oh. Like, that's so sad. But yeah, they finally got her medicine all straightened out.
Good.
And she's back to, she's so feisty. Like, I mean, she's 91, but she'll fight you.
Tough old grandma. Huh?
Yeah, she's awesome.
That's cool.
Chris, you wanted to talk about robots. It's your what I would call an irrational fear.
It is a paranoia but I mean, dude, there's nothing, I don't know. So yeah, I had this like, I don't know if I was scarred as a child watching Terminator or something, but I had this irrational fear of like robots taking over the world. It is scary, man. When you see AI working nowadays, every time I see a video of like people like walking, like these robots walking or learning to walk, or there was like one looked like a cheetah robot or like a dog robot or something. It was walking. That's scary, man. They're learning.
I can't be scared of it.
I don't know. I just think I have this fear that that's the next step in evolution, because I believe in evolution and everything. I think that's the next step in evolution.
The machines taking over is evolution. You believe?
There was and the scientists. There's an actual article they're talking about how like these artificial intelligence can actually evolve like their algorithms and stuff, because they were talking about how like they'd get like these basic algorithms for some of these AIs, and then they would try these more complex ones. And eventually, the ones with the basic algorithms, they would actually be able to figure out how to process some of these tasks a lot quicker than the ones that had these complex algorithms set up, because they were sitting there learning. They would try every little route. I mean, at first they wouldn't be very fast, because they would sit there. They're trying like all these different.
They have to learn it. Yeah,
like different techniques of how they could how they could achieve their task. And then, but over time, they learn how to actually achieve their task, and so they get quicker and better at it.
Have you seen? There's a robot that solves like 6 Rubik's cubes at one time. So they would just mix it up and put it in the little holder, and it has sensors and cameras or whatever on it, so that it could see the colors, and it would just like all 6 of them real quick. It's crazy.
I once read like there was a way you can always get a Rubik's Cube solved in like 21 steps or something. I forget how.
Yeah, the fastest, I used to be really fast at it. Well, I wouldn't say really fast. I'm no records or anything like that. But at my fastest, I got it done in 51 seconds.
Jeez.
Right now, it would take me probably 2 to 3 minutes.
I need to bring this over. Mom has like it's like a Rubik's Cube, but it's a ball, and I need to bring that over to you. It's got the same amount of sides as a Rubik's Cube, but there's also like these little black lines too. It's weird.
That sounds confusing. I've got a Rubik's Cube that is.
It's a gear one too. It's like all gears.
Oh, that's strange.
Yeah.
I've got one that it's like the bottom 2 rows are squares, and then it has a row of like a half ball. So when you mix it up, it's all crazy looking. Yeah. And it's been unsolved for like 4 years since I got it, because I've
never solved a Rubik's Cube at all ever in my life. So
yeah, you're
doing better than some.
Just read the instructions, dude. That's how I did it. I read the instructions that come with it.
Like there's instructions.
Yeah,
I always just thought it was like there's a cube and here's some stickers.
No, it comes with instructions on basically like the motions that you need to do. Huh. I just did that enough to where it's all muscle memory. I couldn't explain to you how to do it. Yeah. Yeah, of course. I mean, now I can. Come on. You do it enough though, you realize what is going on with it. Like if you're watching what you're doing, so that when you get one, you can look at it and you can tell. It's, I don't know. Once the muscle memory sets in, then your brain just kind of clicks and it all makes sense.
I don't know, man. According to that little tea game, have you been to Cracker Barrel where they have a little tea,
Yeah.
the golf tea? According to them, I'm an idiot. So I don't know, man. If I can get
Man, when I was younger, I used to be able to solve those all the time. The last like 5 or 6 times I've gone in there, can't do it. No, not happening.
But I bet you if we had some robots, man.
The robots could do it
Robots
for sure.
possible. And dude, I was in McDonald's earlier today, and like, you know how there's always usually somebody there to take your order.
Oh yeah, they got the touch panel.
Well, they got those touch panels and stuff, and now like the manager's out there, and she's like, "No, come over here and use this." They're all trying to promote them, like, but that's somebody's job you're taking away right there. That's
It's
what
not.
Really confusing. Well, I
It
understand what the
creates jobs.
Yeah, I mean different jobs.
It might take a job away from some. What's the best way to say this? Someone that's not as qualified to do a higher.
But yeah.
I don't know.
You
You know what I'm saying.
You took a job away from minimum wage guy to replace it for
okay.
someone that's
It gives multiple jobs to people that are more technical, and so I mean that's motivation.
But now
Learn more.
Now you're telling this guy that just lost his job as a cashier.
Oh, he's not losing his
job.
job.
Now you got to go back to school.
He's not
and learn how to
losing his
work
job.
I know. I'm just,
But yeah,
But shout out to Elon Musk. I think he bought. I can't remember what the name of the company is. He bought out one of those one of these really big AI companies, and he's like just so he can watch over it to make sure it's not gonna be in the
oh,
wrong hands or anything.
he's working on that. He's like, fuck this. I'm gonna bring on the Terminator.
I believe that Google did create a kill switch, but I think Google is going to be is Skynet. I mean, I think that's the closest thing to
No,
Skynet.
I think Elon Musk is gonna buy Google at some point and turn it completely into Skynet.
Wait, didn't he create Google? Didn't that how he get rich, or was that something?
No,
What did
Tesla.
No, but I thought he created something before Tesla. Then he got,
Oh,
he got really rich.
I have
and
no
then,
idea.
Then he did the whole Tesla and going to Mars.
I don't know about before
thought-
Tesla.
I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't have my iPad to fact check myself.
My phone is sitting on my left leg, and
It's too much work.
it is. Nobody watching us live on YouTube wants to watch me Google something.
Yeah, damn Google.
Did you see? This is not something I planned on talking about, but you talking about Elon Musk and whatnot. So Bayer, the drug company,
Okay, wait. No, I don't think I know that one.
Bayer, they make drugs like headache medicine, that kind of stuff.
No.
It's one of the biggest pharmaceutical companies out there.
Huh.
They just merged with Monsanto.
Oh, okay, never mind. Bayer. Okay, B-A-Y.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, never mind. I was thinking like the animal bear.
Rawr.
Yeah, not the
No,
Bayer.
not bear. Bayer.
Okay.
Does it sound the same when I say it? Bear and Bayer.
Yeah, kind of.
Bear-
I can see the
bear-
difference now.
If
If I wasn't paying attention, I would just think you were saying the exact same
and
thing.
everybody around here with the southern accents. Did you see that bear over there?
Yeah, exactly.
I think he ate a cat.
Poor cat. Hate to go out by a bear.
Oh.
You know, it's like, isn't that, what's that? Stephen Colbert. I think it's like his number one.
Stephen Colbert.
Colbert. I think bears is always his number one threat.
You
to
said that.
America.
You said that last episode you were on,
Dude,
and
well,
I
I want to make sure
You
I get that
really
across.
want to talk about that?
I don't know. I like bears. I've seen a guy ward off a bear one time. An old mountain man. It's pretty interesting.
Well, but yeah. So Bayer and Monsanto have merged and are one company now. I'm pretty excited about it. I'm hoping that it will take. Monsanto gets a lot. They get a lot of grief.
Yeah, what exactly does they get grief from? Is it because of like because what is this? The food is
they do a lot of research on GMOs, and they've produced most of the GMOs that are used in the world, if not all of them. I can't remember exactly, but
just heads up, anybody that eats food, it's GMO.
not true. There's only 8 GMO crops on the market.
I'm just telling you, if you've seen a banana the original what bananas really were,
Yes, I mean that's selective breeding. That's different. But it is a primitive version of genetically modifying. Yeah. But they get a lot of grief for that. They get a lot of grief for seed practices.
What do you mean by seed?
Like, so a farmer buys a bunch of seeds. They're not allowed to use them the next season per contract with Monsanto. And they have, I don't know all about it. There's reasons for it. It's not just but they,
Sounds
you
like
everyone has heard about evil Monsanto. It's
Yeah.
not like they are trying to feed the fucking world. So I'm hoping
telling farmers they can't grow their stuff.
I'm hoping now that Monsanto does not exist anymore, that the fucking hippies will find something else to complain about.
Did you hear about, like, I think it was Minute Maid or one of the lemonade companies is getting lawyered up and trying to take down lemonade stands.
What? That
They're
can't
attacking-
be real.
I didn't think so, but it wasn't an Onion article. I don't know. It was on Reddit somewhere.
That
I wish
can't
I
be
wish I
real.
had that one. We'll see if we can find it next week. We'll see if we can find it tonight. and show
Yeah,
you.
you should find that for next week for sure. My one issue is, why does a pharmaceutical company and I don't even know what to call Monsanto because they do so much.
Cultivation.
Yeah, that would work, I guess, but I don't really get why those two types of companies would come together. I see the link that it's two companies that are trying to help people.
Yeah.
Like, one is trying to save lives with medication and all that. One is trying to feed the world.
Maybe on Saturday I was got tired of all the headaches. Like, hey, I'm just going to cash on it. I tried helping you guys, but everyone's just giving me shit. You know what? Bear, you
assholes.
take over. Take it over, you crazy bears.
I don't know.
I mean, maybe that's why the deal worked, because Bear's a more trusted name, I would think. I mean,
Oh, big pharma, man.
oh, dude, you hear about Martin Shkreli? I know you don't listen to rap and stuff, but I guess Martin Shkreli's from the jail, got his dweebs posting stuff out about one of some like Drake's. I don't know how he has all these people's albums, all these rappers he buys.
He bought that one Wu-Tang
I
Clan
knew about the
album.
Wu-Tang, and he had one of Lil Wayne's albums that never got released. And then he was sitting there bragging about it, and Lil Wayne, I guess, tried to sue him. And then now he has like a new one of this Drake album that has all these Pusha T discs, which I thought that was just recent, and so I don't know how he has it. But he's got like his little dweebs that are on Facebook saying, "Oh, we've got this album of Pusha T," and I think he just says shit to get in the news again, just like old LeVar Ball.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's in jail, so he's got to make sure he's still relevant somehow.
Right. Fuck
Which
that
I
guy.
think I've never seen so many people happy for somebody going to jail and there be no murder involved.
Yeah. Well, I've got one last story. We're gonna end on a high note tonight, guys. I had the absolute most awkward and uncomfortable situation of my life last Friday. Like, I am cringing right now just thinking about it. So I'm getting a vasectomy.
Congratulations.
I'm very excited about it. Thank you. But I had to go in for my consult. And every time I've ever gone to any kind of consultation with any doctor, it's just, you go in, they explain things to you, you ask questions, just talk about it.
Do you want to see your boys?
He wanted to see my boys.
Oh, the old down under.
He explains everything to me. I'm good. I'm like, cool. All right, let's do this. It's going to be in August. So I was like, kind of bummed out about that. But he's like, all right, well, I want to take a look at everything, make sure nothing weird's going on, just make sure we're not going to run into any issues. And so just go ahead and drop trowel and lay down on the table there. My heart sunk. I was just like, fuck, I did not want to do this today. I needed to mentally prepare. I just needed to mentally prepare for that, and I did not have a chance. He caught me off guard. I stepped up to the table, and I took my pants off. Not all the way. I just dropped them down to my knees. I laid back on the table, and I couldn't look at him.
You couldn't look the guy in the eyes
I couldn't look at
as
him.
he fondled your balls to make sure everything's okay down there?
I stared at the ceiling. It was just, I felt so awkward.
Did you feel used?
The first thing that made me feel, immediately I felt awkward because I'm just naked, practically.
Well, you didn't just reach down there and grab
All intents and purposes, I was naked in front of this guy that I just met, and he's only like 5 years older than me, which made it even weirder. I was, if it was a doctor, was in his 60s, it probably would have been a little less awkward, but this guy looked like he was fresh out of medical school.
I mean, it wasn't criticizing your junk or anything.
No, he didn't say anything,
You
but
got a good package, sir.
well, hold on, I'll get there.
Oh, okay, all right, well.
No,
Sounds
so
interesting.
I'm laying back, and he's, his main focus is on my testicles. Obviously, that's where he's going in, snip, snip, tie, sew, all that. But I have a penis.
Well,
and
would hope with
it
the balls.
was in the way. So with one hand, I didn't look to see which, because I just couldn't. Like I said, I could not look at the guy.
Do you know if it was right or left?
With one hand, he grabbed my dick and just like moved it out of the way. And like not just like picked it up and moved it and let go. He grabbed onto it and moved it out of the way and held onto it.
There's no dignity in the medical field now. I'm sorry. As you get older, it gets worse.
Oh, yeah. So he's holding my dick, touching all over my balls.
This is going to sound wrong, but I've had to hold a lot of dick in my job too. So you're going to have to get used to it now, man. You're laying in shit and we got to clean up your balls.
See, I'm not. That's fine. That's fine that you're used to handling them. That is the first time in my life another man has ever touched my penis.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about that either. I might have punched the guy accidentally. No, I'm sorry. Just had a reaction.
One of the worst parts, though, I'm ticklish.
Did you giggle like a little girl, I hope?
No, I did not giggle. But my God, was it hard not to. I'm staring at the ceiling, biting my tongue, because, I mean, it was just so awkward. And I don't care what is going on. If someone touches me there in a non-sexual way, it fucking tickles. I can't help it. So I'm biting my lip as hard as I can, trying not to giggle, and he's like feeling everything. He's like, "This is good. This is just really nice. This is gonna be really easy." Finally, he was like, "Okay, we're good. You can pull him up now." It's like, "Oh, thank God."
Yeah, if you're uncomfortable with that, don't ever take Viagra, or at least overdose on Viagra, because that is 10 times worse.
They have to drain it?
Yeah.
Yeah, no thanks. Like pull the blood out with a syringe? Is that what they do?
Yeah, that's pretty much how it's done. Like, and then if you claw it off, then you have to have surgery, man. There was one guy, like, the doctor was sitting there. There was a new resident, whatever. He was like, and he like had to hold this guy's dick, and they were sitting there drawing, and then he kept clotting off. So he's like, okay, you got to hold.
Put me under. Put me under.
I think they end up actually taking the guy's surgery and everything in order to drain.
God, no, thank you.
Which that sucks, because I think how that works is actually end up. I'm not sure. I've never seen anything for surgery, but like if they do a drain, usually you leave with a drain attached in there. So
no,
yeah,
no. Thankfully, I'm not at the point of my life where I need Viagra.
I know. Well, I mean, those kids like Ozzy Osbourne's son. He took some of his dad's Viagra one time. He had to go to the hospital.
Oh, Jack.
Yeah, so if you're young, don't ever try Viagra. Just wait till you need it. Actually, that's one of those drugs you don't want to have to take.
Right.
Want to sit there and take with your friends.
Like just don't.
I mean, it's awkward enough when you get a boner randomly in class. I mean, it'd suck if you stuck with like a 4-hour boner.
Yeah.
Never had that problem yet.
Yeah, Oh, I guess I'll mention this before we go, because that's all I've got for tonight. But I just got into grad school, so in August I get to start working on my master's.
Congratulations!
I'm fucking nervous.
Master Pierce.
Yeah, and I decided that if it goes well, then I'm gonna continue and get a PhD in information technology.
Oh, Dr. Pierce.
Just so that I can say I'm a computer doctor.
Computer doctor.
It'll be fun. Not fun. I'm really nervous, but I'm going to do it. You know, I was thinking about it, and one, I've still got GI Bill money to use. I don't want it to go to waste.
Yeah.
So most of my master's will be paid for. I'll have to pay for some, like the last semester or two. But also, I was thinking about how all of my friends that are doctors or pharmacists, or any of my friends that are really successful and
pharmacists are doctors
highly
also.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Yes. But all of my highly successful, highly educated friends come from families where their parents are also highly educated and successful. Like me and you, we don't have all these degrees and we're not doctors. Our parents were,
the blue collar.
Yeah. It's just something I was thinking about. So I decided I should get my master's and I should try for the PhD, because it might push my kids to strive for more than what I have done for, the first 30 years of my life, and their grandparents and great. Yeah. So I don't know. I think that would be a good thing for them. So I'm doing it more for them. I'm going through the pain myself so that hopefully one day they will try harder than I did when I was younger.
It's like my dad always said. He always wanted a better life for us than what he had.
Yeah, I think that's every parent's goal.
Yeah.
But yeah, everybody, again, please review the podcast. Little dad advice for you. Tell your kids, tell your sons if they don't need Viagra, don't fucking take it.
Angry, but I'm sorry. I don't